Come on in, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. See if my audio is working out. Halito, everyone. We're gonna have a about 45 minute to an hour show tonight, dealing with creek running water. Halito, everyone. About 45 minute to an hour. Hey, El Boogie. How about sis? I'm waiting on creek running water. He should be pulling up in just a minute. How's everyone doing this evening? Show tonight. Let me turn this down. I'm waiting on Creek. He said he was on his way. So I'm gonna tell him hold on, everyone. I'm a little exhausted. Halito, Wilmore Reed. Okay, yeah, I'm waiting on that. Let me share this. How's everyone doing? I know I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I work 7 days a week. It's kind of like now. It's like, yes. It's like, for a minute I can go, and it don't bother, but then it be where I want it to slow down, especially with all the BS going on out here in the world. Then you're dealing with your ignorant ass family. They don't think the shit really going the way it's really going because they sleep. I tell you, we got so many our own family members, y'all, is in the madness. I got to argue with my sister and my auntie last night about them motherfucking Democrats. This is how sleep our people are. They need a new warden over their prison. You don't even realize that they done turned America into a prison. That's how sleep our people. They actually voted. He told sis, I was just gonna put in send you a text. And let your mom know, Lyrica. We're gonna go for about an hour. I'm tired of these children, L Boogie. Yes, I'm just tired of my family that got on my last nerve. They like they're so goddamn sensitive. They've been knowing me all my life. The same way I am on here, y'all. It's the same way in my real life, and they know that. So all of a sudden, these niggas are sensitive. I'm gonna keep my ass at home. I'm tired of trying to wake people up. Okay, Sid. Halito, Chief, sign out. But yeah, I'm tired. I can't do it no more. I'm not gonna argue with my sister talking about, oh, he divided the country. Girl, when we been together? You gotta first tell me that, when we been together. Talking about he divided the country. I admit, 4 years ago, I had my feelings about Trump. But as you do research and you find out the truth, you starting to see things, bigger than what it really is. As I said, what did he say racist at his thing? Because he never said nothing. Prejudice and racist is two different things. Salute Bronze Flat Power King. People don't understand the difference between racist and prejudice. Prejudice means you don't like nobody outside your own people. We all racist because if you love your own people, you're racist. You want to see your own people win? You for your race, which is really you for your ethnic. It ain't race, because race is like you in like survival of the fittest. We in this, what they consider to be survival of the fittest when it comes to these people. But if you for your own ethnic, then yeah. I ain't said I hate pale skinned people. I just don't fuck with them like that because I know what they're capable of. But me and my sister got into a heated argument last night, and with my auntie, because they voted for them motherfucking pedophiles. This to let you know our people really, really don't think. These people have them hypnotized by what they see on TV is what they believe. They don't research nothing. That's why I try to stay away from my family as much as possible, because I can't deal with ignorance. That's why I said, people, you just don't know. With your family, it's a battle. All of it, it's a whole different kind of battle. Because you really expect, if you know something, you kind of like, you try to tell your family to alert them. They're hoping they get it. But when they so indoctrinated with the fucking book all their life, it's kind of hard, because my sister is, they heavy into the church, and my auntie and all of them, and they already know how I feel, and I don't give a damn. So now they just so fucking sensitive. Like I told them, salute nonetheless. Like I told them last night, I hope your Jesus show up and show out for you. I tell you that damn much. Since y'all holding on to that, his every unchanging hand, apparently is unchanging, because he ain't showed up yet to help y'all damn asses. He right about that, unchanging. He ain't changed his mind to come down here and help y'all Negroes. So, they were sitting there right quiet and feeling some type of way last night, after I spoke my mind and I got up and left, because I ain't got time for the fucking foolishness. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Don't let these people stick that goddamn thing up y'all nose. My nephew's in the hospital. My sister, my oldest sister, the one I argued with last night is my youngest. Me and my older sister, we already know. Halito, Chief's son, now, how you doing? And he had a blood clot on his brain. And of course, back when the COVID shit first hit, one of his co-workers got sick, so they made everybody. My nephew's a supervisor where he works at the plant, and so they made everybody go take that test. Now, yesterday when he has to make sure everything's closed down because he's the last person to leave in the evening, and because they only have one shift, and he has to make sure things shut down. When he got to his truck. Because mind you, not only he has that, he also owns his own landscaping. So when he got to his truck, so he can go and get his stuff, so he can, go and cut the people's yard that he do every week, he couldn't function, he couldn't think, and he didn't know what was going on. So he called his daddy, and my other nephew was there over at their dad's house. And his daddy sent his little brother over there to pick him up, take him to the hospital. He really couldn't talk good or anything. So they say he had a mini stroke. I don't know if people know what a mini stroke is, but my daughter's grandmother, she used to have mini strokes herself, so I remember about that. And they asked him, have anything, he been up under stress. He does work a lot, and he does, like I said, he have his own landscaping. And my other two nephews, they some lazy ass Negroes. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was their father gave them his landscaping business, but they don't all want to work. So he just took it on, and he hired other people to help him. So, and he does a whole lot. Plus he has a wife and 3 kids. And 3 children, rather. My bad, 3 children. So it kind of messed with his speech, whatever. So they run a test on him. But they asked him, anything different this year. He said, well, I was tested positive for COVID, but I never got sick. And he didn't. He never got sick or anything. He stayed home in 14 days. I talked to him every day. He was fine. I'm telling y'all, don't let these people put this bullshit up our nose. For some reason, if my sister, his mama, she even when he got tested, she works in the same thing I do. She works with the elderly and the mentally challenged too. So, but she works for a nursing home. I don't work for a nursing home. So, she went and got tested too. Like I told them. And she was like, well, I gotta work. I'll be damned. I'm gonna tell y'all straight out. I'm not letting these people put shit up my damn nose. I'm not letting them. This is why I'm so adamant about getting everything I need to get done. Because you're not gonna touch me. I know what you're capable of. Our people have failed to realize what they did to the Tuskegee Airmen, how they did radiation on us, how they have did. I remember here at Vanderbilt, they did a couple experiments on us too. So I'll be there. I'm not gonna be y'all guinea pigs. No, sir. So now the doctor said, well, they have noticed people that was tested positive with the COVID, that they've been having blood coming up with blood clots. And I'm like, I told my sister, I said, they come from y'all taking that damn test. But you can't tell our people nothing, y'all. Our people don't want to listen. And my sister, she just is enlightened as I am. But you can't tell her nothing. Her and my mama. Now, my mama ain't finna let you fuck with her. But, the rest of them, I'm done. I'm done with my mama's sister, her daughter, all them. They feel some type of way. Every time I try to give them some information to go research, they actually act like they mad because I know something that they dumbasses don't know. Like I told them, y'all are just willfully ignorant. And there's nothing that I can do. And I'm going to keep my ass at home for now. I'm like, I just got off from work and came over here because, my mom and them was all over there because they was worried about, my nephew and stuff because could nobody go up there but his wife. But I'm like I told my mama, I'm going to keep my ass right here in my own shit. I'm going to figure this out. But I'm not going to keep trying to beg you Negroes to get on the right foot. I don't have that time and energy. Time done wind it down. Let me hit Creek, y'all. Let me see what's going on. Because I sent him the sign. I told him, okay, he said okay. So I guess he's on his way, y'all. He sent me that message 10 minutes ago. But yeah, don't trust these people, y'all. So like I said, don't trust them. Then they telling my nephew that people that was tested positive. Now this is where they went up in his nose. Because he said damn nearly touched his brain with that shit. So you ain't gonna tell me they ain't no telling what was on those sponges. My nephew is 35. Well, he'll be 35. He's my oldest sister's son. So exactly, Elboy. How you doing this evening, Elboy? All we got is us, and we need to learn. I don't know what it is with my people. Our people, it's like they rather hear the pale face say it before they believe anything. Salute Omega. Salute Talina Brown. I hope I'm saying it right. Talina Brown. That's my family. One of my families. That's surname Brown. But at all, Chief Son Al, don't trust them for nothing. They tell me they're gonna run another test. He's still in the hospital. They tell me they're gonna run another test on him in the morning because he's back talking real good and everything. But it's just a scary moment because when he told me he went and took the test, I was mad as hell at him because I've been telling they damn ass all this time, and you just can't, And he's been hard headed since he was little. But my sister had him young. She had him when she was 15. So basically, we all raised his ass. She raised all her children. We all lived in the same house. So, he always been one of those stubborn children that you couldn't tell shit. So, I don't know. I just hope he's okay and everything because he got 3 little kids, 3 children, got 2 girls and a boy. And I know because he's always with his children when he's not, okay, 2 minutes, okay, Creek, we waiting on you. He's always with his children, even when, after he get off from work, go cut those yards and stuff, he still make time to spend with his children. You know what I'm saying? But he's young. Now it's my nephew, Chief Son Al. It's my nephew. It's my sister, my older sister, before me. It's her son. It's not the one I told you that was that got the bad heart. He's the middle boy, but it's her oldest boy now. So I'm like, y'all gonna run me damn it crazy. Because I look at them as my kids too, because I have raised these children, because we was all children, we all lived in the same house. So, I always looked at them as mine because I was always there too. And I have raised them. So I'm like, y'all gonna run me crazy. You're hard-headed, you don't want to listen, y'all think I'm telling y'all something that's gonna harm you. And like I told me, why would I tell y'all something that's gonna harm y'all? Y'all are my loved ones. If I'm telling you something, it's to protect you. It's never to harm you. Okay, telling. I was just trying to make sure that I hate to butcher somebody's name. But I would never tell nobody or I'm for my people to win. I'm gonna always be for my people. I'm gonna take the good, the bad, and the ugly, when it comes to my people, because I know my people damage goods. And I know what you've been through. So I'm not going to hold it accountable because our people been brainwashed. They done been through the ringer from the womb. Our people was already damaged due to what psychological, what our own ancestors went through. All that shit is passed down through your genetics. So, I understand that. So I try not to, unless you out here raping some children and raping women and doing all the killing. And no, I have no sympathy for you, because if you're that sick, you can go get help and try to figure out before you go do what your plans are. Go get you some help. So no, I don't have no mercy or nothing for people like that. No. But yeah, I've just been. And it's exhausting when you worry, y'all. Especially about your loved ones, and you trying to wake them up. And man, that's all I can say. Sometimes when they say your family could be your worst, they're not lying. Trust me, it will drive you crazy, and it's not only will drive you crazy, Talina. You search your energy trying to pour your energy into your family so they can get it. It ain't like my family don't know who they are. They just don't get the other part about being in the system and how the system lies. They really feel like, y'all know you're supposed to pay your rent, but what is understandable, or pay your mortgage or whatever. They feel like all these bills was put in place for a reason by some foreigners. Just like, they believe in the foreigners that they ran for president. They believe that these people really have their best interests at heart. This is how sleep our people are. My little sister literally is gonna sit here and argue with me. I said, girl, I'm not gonna argue with you because you ain't researched nothing. You're emotional, and you're gonna stay emotional because you don't want to know. You being willfully ignorant. You're only going by what the TV is showing you. You're not going back. Okay, well, let me go and see what's really going on. If my sister tell me, let me go and she don't want to hear that. She said Trump is racist and he's dividing this country. What the what? I'm like, where you been at? But this all come from people that work with she works for the government, so she been working for the government almost 30 years, so she work around a lot of pale skin, so that part. I used to tell her all the time. She used to get mad and say, I said, girl, you're a white woman in a black woman's body, because that's what she ran me of. I ain't gonna lie, she's one of those type of people. Have as Fu Manchu, have as brother. So, I kind of expected it from her when it came, because she called my daughter, telling me, you better get out. And boss said, my daughter ain't saying, don't call her with that bullshit. She ain't signing no contract. She know who she is. What you talking about? I said exactly what I said. Girl, get off my phone with that. Yeah, ain't nobody with that matrix shit but your damn ass. And the sad part, my little sister, she still got 2 babies at home. She got 2 kids, the one in junior high, and one just made it to high school. So, you can't tell her nothing. Can't tell her nothing. Well, no, she got one. No, she's in the 6th grade. My bad. She got one in the 6th grade, one just made it to junior high. So, hey, ain't nothing I can do. I got to love them from afar. And that's what I plan on doing. That's what I told my mama. I said, I'm going to love them from afar. I'm not finna do this with my auntie and my sister, because they would literally make me say some things to them, and they know I will go there. So I'm just going to keep my ass right here in my own damn house. So, salute, House of Nathan. We waiting, y'all. We waiting on Creek. He said he'll be here in a minute. He typed in the chat. I just wanted to come early and get it started, get some people in the chat for him. But he said he was coming. He just put it in the chat, y'all. See, and that's how my cousin is. She try to say, well, I believe what she said, but she don't research nothing. How you believe what I'm saying, but then y'all sit there and throw slick shots in when I bring up something, her and her mama, which is my mama's sister, y'all throw a little side, or you'll turn the TV up because you don't want to hear me. So like I told my mama, I keep my ass at home. I ain't got time for that old dumbass shit they doing, because they love hip hop and loving hip hop and shit. See, that's the type of shit I got going on in my family. They think the shit that they doing and loving hip hop and all this shit is real. But when they get that rude awakening, ain't gonna be no phones on, ain't gonna be no satellite. I mean, no computer. Y'all ain't gonna be able to run. Who you gonna call? Guess you gonna call Ghostbusters. I'm done. I'm talked out. I told my mama today, I said, I'm talked out. I'm done. And of course, you got that mama that my mama believes in family. She like, they call me Nessa. They don't call me Anissa. She's like, Nessa, don't be like that. I'm like, no. I'm just gonna be real with it. I'm done. And she know how I am. When I fix my mind to something, I'm done. I'm not gonna do that. Yes, they turned up real tough. They'll sit there all day after she get through teaching school and stuff to her children. Honey, they got the TV on when I go over there in the evening time sometime, and all they know is all this old fake ass shit and Jesus. Yeah, they love Jesus. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I got some family, and my people love thumping that Bible. They think that's gonna save them. I ain't got none either. I'm out. I was like, well, I hope they get it before the shit hit the fan. And they were like, well, she's high strung. I'm not high strung. I'm passionate. Have eyes, Mama Bear. I'm passionate, and I want you to get it because I want you to survive whatever is going to go down. But since you feel that way strongly, like I told my daughter, Fuck them. I ain't dealing with these damn fools. I ain't finna let you drain my energy. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, elbow. They love Jesus more than they love their own relatives. Like I told him, I said, "Oh, who said he was kin to us? Shit, he don't look like us. Who said he was in your damn bloodline?" No, people did. We idolize the dumbest shit. The more you get enlightened, the more you see the shit you used to do back before you became enlightened. You be like, damn, I really used to do that type of shit. I really used to be on that type of shit. Yeah. I'm trying to explain to them, and I was talking about my nephew all at the same time. But then my cousin gonna holler. But if they knock on my door, they ain't getting in talking about the government if they come out with the shots. Girl, what you gonna do? You still caught up in the system. I just looked at her and shook my head. I said, nah, I'm done. I guess she thinks she gonna take on the what more power to her. Salute Supreme Assassin. What is it? I don't want to mess up your name. I'm gonna leave it alone. Assassin. I'm gonna leave it alone. Salute Dr. Quidair. Salute Jonathan Crawford. We all waiting on Creek. He said he was coming, and I'm hoping he'll be here soon. He put in the chat. I don't know if it's something going on with his computer or what's going on, but he put in the chat, y'all, that he'll be here in a few minutes. So, and he said he was gonna go for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So hopefully he's coming. Because I do have to get some sleep. I have to work again tomorrow. Well, I work 7 days a week. I'm never off. But I think I'm gonna cut some of these hours down. I'm just running myself ragged. As they say, chasing the bag. I got a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I got some things I want to get done. But right about now, when all the fuck shit is going on, I got to be near my house. I need to be, creep this. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Yeah, he's gonna, he does his things with law, civics, and law. He's real good. I was gonna ask him about the Nasara. Have anybody ever heard of the Nasara? In the chat when it comes to the I was listening to MREC TV with Mina, and she brought that up. I guess it's about the dead. I saved it to my file, but I gotta go and figure out. Got a new phone. I don't know how to do this. So, do anybody know about that? Okay. And I know they said it's about you. No. Okay. Halito, Gretchen. Okay, Nan. Maybe y'all can, teach us on that. I'm gonna invite you in one day too, unless you want to come up here tonight, Nan, with your boy. You and Creek always build real good. Unless you more than welcome to come. That's the link if you want to pop up here, Nan. Hold on. But she was talking about it, and it had this other dude on there. I guess it's a build they had did about a week ago, and he was saying he done bought a house. He don't pay no mortgage, all that, because he said he copyrighted his name. Okay, the St. Germain. Yeah, because he was like, copyright your name, and so these people then send it to uh the sheriff department. Once you copyright your name, you send it to the sheriff department, and that way they can't use it. Hey, Nan, how you doing? And you said it goes back to now to the what? Damn, you breaking up, Nan. We can't hear you. You breaking up. Yeah, but the dude was saying
Wait a
that
minute, can you hear me now?
yeah, you good. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it goes back to the Saint Germain Trust. That's like goes back to the Catholic Church, the people that's the family that set up the Catholic Church, set up the
Okay.
trust. I mean, making a long story short, they try to take all of the knowledge and put it into a trust where they was paying off. So now whoever holds the trust, the world trust, holds all of the world's wealth because they trying to pretend like they the ones that taught the world, so all the knowledge comes from them. That's why I said when I was one time I was going in on how the Catholic Church trying to hoard all the knowledge and say that they taught the world. So that goes to this to the goes back to the Saint Germain. But they know they overtook that. But anyway, what happened with Nasara goes back to that because the white people that had these farms. You remember Farm Aid back in like the 80s and 90s when these like white people losing their farms.
Yeah.
Okay, when they started losing their farms and shit, you know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers started getting like generals and legal teams. A lot of them ended up missing. Um, that really had the information about these farms because when they gave out farms to these crackers, when they died, these crackers children try to get them, but the government, they don't give a fuck about their people. All they
Ah,
trying to
we
do is
know
put
that
them.
now.
Right. So they started putting them in a probate, and now it went back to the state. These crackers started fighting it, and that's where the Nassau Act came in at because they found all these documents about this corruption. So that and if supposed and well you got to really dig for it, but they took all of it off the internet. So the
Mm-hmm.
9/11, if Nassau was supposed, it's rumored that the 9/11 on 9/11, that's when the Nassau supposed to have been activated, and that's when they knocked down the towers.
Ah.
Yeah, that's where it's coming from. But it starts from the farm aid when these white people losing them farms and shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
You know, with
But
those towers, none. I don't think that planes hit those towers. I think those was holograms, and I think that because they said they could never find no debris from the planes, and I believe that those was holograms.
yeah,
Because they one of the planes they was talking about to hit the Pentagon, they said there was no debris there. So
yeah, yeah. And plus, all those Jews called out of work that same day.
uh-huh. Yep. So how
So
is
the
it?
same. So that's weird. You know what I mean? All those Jews knew not to come into the World Trade that same day. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
so now that it's activated.
yeah, it's supposed to be debt. It's supposed to forgive all the debt. Uh, Foreigners, they supposed to put the foreigners at a lower class or deport a lot of foreigners. Whole bunch of shit supposed to happen. You know what I mean with the Nassar Act. But of course, you know what I'm saying, they kind of burying the actual documents. Nobody can find the documents. You know what I'm saying about this about the land and all that shit. But this is this happens like from karma though. It's kind of when you read the story, when you really know the story, it sounds like karma to me. Motherfucker took our shit, and now when their shit get taken, you know what I'm saying, they got a problem with it.
Mm.
Yep. So that's really what the Nassar shit is about. But it don't really affect us too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just affects these crackers. It's just them fighting back. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of get when they fight, they kind of do some damage because they kind of know the system a little bit
Yeah.
better than us
Better.
because they come
Yeah.
from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they got connections inside information that we don't have access to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why a lot of our people they gotta just let them fight it out, and then we
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, and then start picking up like they start telling on each other, and then we can know exactly where we can fit in to fucking bring the shit back home. You feel me? To
Yeah.
us.
That's why I tell people all the time, this is their fight. Let them people fight. We need to stay the fuck out of it. Let them take their system down. That's their system. And it's like our people just don't get it.
Yeah, let them.
High Vibes TNT. Welcome y'all. We still sitting here waiting on Creek. We got Creek, where you at? We got 32 people in the chat. I told you I was coming to get the people in. But you can go on the build and share some of your knowledge too, Nah, because I know you and Lil Yos, all y'all be in the back chat building on this stuff.
Yeah, what was the topic tonight?
It was just always law and civics, dealing basically, you can go over the straw man, how we gonna correct this, and how we, trying to get out. I said I was listening to this one particular channel, and they were saying give them back everything, the social security number, don't use no numbers, even the EIN number. I was just listening to them before I came in and started my live, and they were saying don't use none of it because this is how the system is operating. Because he said there's over 1,000 something like my name, but they don't know you unless you put down that social security number. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's how they track us. They track us by numbers, just like the EIN number. It's a tracking number. So they were saying get rid of all those numbers. Don't do nothing with them. The lottery it's like a lottery with them. So and you only visible because you use their number system.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're not using their number system, you become invisible to them.
Yeah, you become private.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's correct. You're not supposed to be using any of their numbers.
Lou
I mean,
Jonathan,
I
go ahead.
mean, you it's a way to do it. I'm just gonna put it to you like that. It's a way to do it, but just for the basics, the basic is just take your mind off of using any of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when but you still have to have a way to operate in the system though. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it still has to operate. You got to operate through something. So the main vehicle for people that's really knowledgeable, they operate through trust or they operate through an LLC. Now, if you operate through an LLC, then you're not using their number. You're using the LLC, and most people that understand how to use the LLC is where you assign if you want to be private, you can get a lawyer or something like that to assign, draw you up a land trust and then put everything into and make that LLC owned by the land trust and then have a particular LLC in either I think it's Wisconsin, Delaware, and Nevada. Their LLCs are have the same rights as a person.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people get their LLC set up in those states, but also have an LLC where they domicile at, like if the state where you are.
Oh,
That way, if they
I'm
look
just
up the
seeing
LLC.
you, Creek. Uh, he
Mhm.
he okay, Gretchen put it in there for you, Creek. She brought it back down for me. Thank you, Gretchen. Um, Creek is
Yeah,
up now, so y'all can build. But
right.
okay,
But
so
that's basically what he's saying. What he's saying is don't use it. Have one company entity that you create LLC own the other LLC, and have those two operate. You know what I mean? Find out which state is advantageous to use a LLC with their rules. You know what I mean? Because you can have if you get one in another state like Minnesota, and it might be in Missouri, Delaware. I know Delaware and Nevada definitely. They have relaxed rules. You have a lot of benefits in those states, and then get that LLC. to own
He said,
another.
I don't see you, Creek. I don't see you. I'm finna copy this link again and I'm gonna put it in the chat again for you, Creek.
I can send it to him if you want.
Okay, yeah, send it to him, Nine.
Yeah, I'll send it. Let me see if I can get on the back real quick.
Okay. Cause it don't have you up here on the screen at all, Creek.
All right, tell Creek I sent it to him in his back chat. If you
Creek, he said he sent it to you in the back chat. To the it's a distraction to the system. So you are you saying don't even use when Black Guy said the people I was listening to today, they were saying don't use none of their numbers. We need to come out of their system. Period. Okay,
what they mean? No, what they mean is don't have yourself attached to it.
oh,
Form a company and have the company own the shit. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do it.
okay.
You know, and if you want another company, have that company own another company. You know what I'm saying? Don't have nothing attached to you, your body, your name, nothing. None of that Social Security shit. Have everything owned by another company, and then have the master as your trust. You know what I mean? Land trust. You can have a land trust. You know what I mean? Own your estate, but don't have anything. Close the Social Security account anyway. That way you can discharge. Creek teach you about all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Welcome, Creek. Welcome.
What's up, Creek?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. No, that's called holding. You want to have a holding company. The holding company will be the parent company, and then you have a subsidiary which works up under the parent company as a operating company. So you have one that's a holding company, and then one that holds all the assets and protects you from any type of claims or any type of keep you from being sued, so to speak. Okay, so like if you put together a LLC and you have there like say it's a Big Creek Running Water LLC. Okay, if I get sued or they sue the LLC, okay, you got to remember this: the LLC, even though it's Creek Running Water, is still considered to be a person, right? Let's share my screen. Let's go ahead and get into that, man, because we just brought up that was a good little digress you was in. I was rocking with that. Let's see, share screen here, because what happens is people get confused with this so-called straw man, which I hate using the word straw man because it's a red flag for sovereign citizen. We know that it's a legal entity, okay, in legis, okay, it's a legal entity. That's all it is, okay. It's a vessel for commerce, okay. Title 18. Now, we're going to let's say the entire screen. Let's go ahead and share the entire screen on my computer. I apologize, man. I don't know what happened. I tried to log in and they wanted me to make an account. I make an account and then they wanted me to broadcast the show. So I went on to YouTube. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not even on the show. But then I went through a couple of links that you had before, the ones, I just scrolled back to like last week or the last time you had a link. And it took me in the back, but it didn't show anything. It didn't show any, a live chat or anything. How I got on was the link that I got from Gretchen. Shout out to Gretchen Helm. Sister out in DC doing the damn thing, out the original sister. So let's go ahead and I'm playing with the button. It ain't coming up.
It ain't even. Hold on, let me see something. Let me stop sharing and go back and do it again.
Okay, here we go. I got it.
Hold on. It's coming. Hold on.
There we go. Excellent. All right. Now we know that a legal person and a natural person. Let's see what the definitions of those are, because a lot of people they consider themselves to be the legal person, and that's not the situation. That we can't be conformed to something that's not living, right? We're a living vessel. Okay, so we have to be able to have. It's almost like you're making a created character for yourself that you plug into when you're in the matrix. When you're not in the matrix, you unplug yourself from whatever that is, and you're just a natural person. You know what I'm saying? That uses the legal person as a vessel. Okay. You know what does the United States say a vessel is? Because we playing their game, right? And they holding us responsible to their game. Let's see what their rules are, because we can only go by what they're telling us now. I'm gonna skip. We've seen here a legal person, and I'm gonna go to Title 18 to show you where they say a vessel is a United States citizen. It's also a corporation, right? Same thing with a legal person. The term natural person refers to a living human being. Okay. So for what it's worth, a living human being refers to us. They basically saying somebody that has a heartbeat, okay, blood, with certain rights and responsibilities, okay, under the law. By contrast, a legal person or artificial person, or the word "or" means two things is conjoined. All right, it's not separate. When they say legal person or artificial purpose, you know, they're synonymous in definition. It says is a group of people. Group can be organization, McDonald's. You know, I always use that for an example. You know, saying Church's Chicken. You know, there's a group of people. You know what I mean? And they, while they're on the job working, that they're a KFC employee, a representative of KFC, right? So a group of people that is considered by law to be acting as a what? Single individual. Okay, so these are the definitions that they playing with, and this is what we got to go by. Okay, so no, you're not the legal person, right? The legal person is your entity. An entity is a business or something that is composited as something there, whether it's a person or it's similar to a person, you know, so forth and so forth. Okay, in jurisprudence, a natural person, also a person, a physical person in some Commonwealth countries, is a person. In legal meanings, i.e., okay, uh, one who has his own legal personality, that is an individual human being, as opposed to a legal person. And it seems like when you read through that, it's kind of confusing. It says, which may be a private, i.e., business entity, non-governmental organization. So, I mean, it's just summing up what I just said right there. I mean, it's in summary to what I just said right there, what they just said right there is basically we're talking about something that's synonymous to a person, okay, but the outer shell of that is a business. It could be a brick and mortar. It could be, you know, a house. It can be a business, Walmart, okay? So, you know, these are the things that we got to be careful of. And these are also traps that can lead you into a contract and have you obligation to something, and then you not being a representative. So, you know, one of the things that people were saying about why is it important for me to do the declaration? Is it going to make me free? Well, freedom is a state of mind. A state of mind. If you're not free in your mind and you got to ask, then you're not free. Okay. If you don't know that you have a responsibility under the law, okay, then that means the law will hold you responsible. Okay, I'll say it again. You have responsibilities, but if you don't take care of responsibilities under law, then the law will hold you responsible will hold you accountable for the responsibilities. Okay, so what we want to do is, you know, take it to the beginning stages of anything. People say they want to discharge debt. We've been talking about discharge this for the past week and so forth. Okay, and you know, that is one of the things we want to be mindful of is you know, when we discharge a jet, we know that it's an obligation. If we go back to video number 1, okay, and I'm gonna do this for I think it was shouts out to RB and not RB, I think it was CR, okay, in the email, and he wanted me to show you the video that talks about the obligation that the United States have to us on behalf of the citizens to pay for their debts. That video should have been on the original Empress Copper interest. Okay. Okay, these are all classics. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, you know, shouts out to the Empress. She put in work big time. Well, let's go here to the page. I'm gonna show you the video y'all need to go to, because we're not gonna be on long. I reckon probably for about another 30 minutes, you know, because it's already late. We got a late start, and the Empress had, you know, situation with one of the family members and stuff. So, you know, condolences to that. So we're gonna be mindful of that and not try to hold this too long. I'm gonna go in a little bit. I'm gonna digress, and then we'll do a Q&A at the last 5 to 10 minutes. So if you do got any questions, okay, just hold them till the last 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get into the question. I'll read it in the chat, and then we can just kind of bring it up. And if I got to, I'll share my screen. Okay. So we know that the United States has an obligation to us. Okay, not to just us, but all of U.S. synonymously us. Okay, literally us. Okay, and that obligation is to pay for bills. If they took all the money, or what we consider to be money, okay, which was gold and silver, because people were bartering back then with gold and silver, and they were trading, you know, equal value, right? Okay, and when we talked about value in video 3, when we talked about acceptance for value, being able to create value, right? All right, so we go back to some of those earlier lessons. Y'all should already know value comes from you, right? That you give value to certain things. You can either, in as many ways you can do value, okay? Now, a lot of people say, I can just sign something and create the value. Well, it just depends on what that signature is connected to. If they have an account number on a check and you sign it, of course, then that value of whatever it is going to be the amount of what that check is, and the routing and the account number that goes to that, and a specific amount how much, you know, whatever the amount of that bill or that discharge is, right? So, but your signature would definitely be valuable if you do that. But like, you know, if I'm giving you a number, we coming out of the club, and there's a phone number on that, and a name on that, won't probably be worth hardly anything. I mean, you won't be able to take that to the bank and cash out with it. It might be worth, you know, a good time out or something, but you know, literally a signature by itself doesn't really hold that much value unless it's backed up by something. Okay, and that's the whole game of everything. Is we living in a imagination world that's backed up by your belief. It's backed up by your work. It's backed up by your energy. You're the one that give it, put charge to it. It doesn't have life because it's artificial. Okay, so but the minute you sign for it, okay, the obligation is already within the obligee. Okay, which is going to be the AKA strawman, or better known as the legal person. So dealing with law and civics, I believe this is it right here. If you go in, this is dealing with nationality. That's one. You can just look at the picture caption on. I looked ahead of time, so I believe it's called dealing with nationality and civics. Okay, when you go, I'm sorry, no, it's not that one. Let's pause for a second. It's going to be discharging debt featuring Creek Running Water. When you go back to this specific video here, okay, I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. This one right here will literally take you to the point on the beginning parts of why they are held accountable to charging you, or, you know, to a debt, right? They are going to pay the debt obligation because they took all the money out of circulation, which was gold and silver at the time. That was considered to be lawful money for trading and value. Okay, that's why when you go to British, they still use the old dollar system when you go by pounds, right? So it goes by weight or the amount of gold. Like, okay, 2 pounds of gold for, you know, a loaf of bread or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that would be way more than 2 loaf of bread. That's what really, you can buy a whole 2 pounds of gold. You probably can get some acres. And that's just how they were bartering back then. But once they took away that, they gave what was considered to be T-bills, which is now what we consider to be FDRs, which is federal FRDs, which is Federal Reserve Notes, FRNs. I'm sorry. So the Federal Reserve Notes took the place of value. All it is a placeholder, okay, for value, because you can take these into their fun world, or what they consider to be a casino, right? And we can play in their casino, right? So let's just use this for an example that the United States is a casino, right? When you go into the Trump towers, or you go into, you know, AKA United States, okay, the United States plays with these USD dollars. You can go into their stores, and each store is an individual game. Okay, it's like if you want to play roulette, or you want to play five card Marley, or you want to play poker stud. Poker stud is Walmart. Okay, so but in order to play in Walmart store, you got to have these tokens, right? So, but then what they do is the tokens don't mean anything once you go outside of their jurisdiction, which is the casino. Okay, once you go outside that casino, you ain't gonna be able to buy a loaf of bread with that, because it don't mean nothing to Mexico unless you have some type of what currency exchange. So when you get these tokens, what do? You go up to the exchange place, and you get the tokens, and they give you the value amount of whatever that token is. See, value is always going to be a part of the conception of making of trading or any type of transaction that you make. It's got to be value. Remember when we talked about contracts? That's going to be in video number 3, which would be dealing with national civics. So all these conversations we had in these last builds are going to be right here in the original Copper Empress, Empress's channel, and the other one would be Mahogany, the original Mahogany. Okay, and when you go here, you're going to see some of these old bills that we had. Okay, go to Creek Running Water. That should have been the one we're on now. Civics and Law featuring Creek Running Water. That was 2 weeks ago, and that was the last one we did. Okay, now the last one we did was pretty good because it was a recap of the one previous to that, which was a week ago. Okay, which is the one right before that, and it talked about accepting for value. Okay, because I've been getting emails about people talking about discharge and so forth. All your answers are going to be in these 2 right here when it's talking to discharge and debt. Now, when you want to know how it started and why it's an obligation, take it to talking about House Resolution 92, the New Deal during the time after the war, the gold calls, so forth and so forth. That's going to be on the original Empress, Copper Empress channel. Okay. Now, having said that, let's go back to legal entities, right? So we know we need to have a business in order to do that. Now, you already have a business set up, okay, with the United States. The United States already has an account set up for you, okay? They already have an account set. Okay, they already set up an account with y'all. For every person that has a certificate of live birth, you have a contract that states that you're a member of the United States corporation on the private side. If you're talking about the public side, okay, it's considered to be a country. On the private side, it's a corporation, okay? Okay, and everything is held in trust, okay? Trust is for the benefit of somebody. When that person is able or at a certain age, they can take over their part of the asset, or they can claim that part of the asset, okay, which is part of that corporation. The same thing a lot of really the rich white people do, not just specifically white, but people that have money and they have a corporation, or they have stocks, or they deal with trades and so forth. They'll take these certificates, okay, and these certificates are what? What is a certificate? A certificate is something that certifies. A certificate, okay, is a piece of paper that says it's been certified with specific information on it, right? So we got a certificate of live birth, which is really considered on the public side, they're telling you it's a birth certificate. But really on the private side, it's a stock certificate, okay? What is a stock certificate? First of all, what is a certificate? Because a lot of people think they know what a certificate is. They really don't know what a certificate means, okay? So let's get to, and there's nothing wrong with thinking you know something that you don't know it, because a lot of times we have to reassure ourselves of definition, especially when we're talking about business and we're talking about law. Okay, it's definitely going to be different from what they was telling you in mainstream schools, right? So we know that a certificate. What is the definition of certificate before we get into a stock certificate, and then how all this correlates to the statutory declaration? Okay. Okay, so a certificate definition. Let's go to dictionary.com. It's going to give us the most vague, or it's going to give us the most basic definition of what a certificate is. Okay, so certificate is a document serving as evidence. See, to certify means this is evidence. Okay, somebody's trying to prove something. You in another country. Say I go to the fly to the UK and I get my birth certificate. Is it going to look like their birth certificates? No, it's not. It's going to look like something totally different. It's going to look foreign. So they're going to question the document, right? So in order to evidence this, the authenticity of the document, it has to be what? Authenticated. It has to be certified. Okay, that's going to be certified by a government, so it's backed up. Remember that word again? We talked about being backed up by anything. Everything has to be backed up by value. Okay. Okay, a document serving as evidence or a written testimony. There we go. Testimony. Testimony is somebody that's taking an oath as a status, qualifications, privileges, or the truth of something. Okay, so that's all in one of what a certificate is or can be, right? So it may include status, the qualifications of something. If you go to the store, or say you graduated from high school, wouldn't that give you certain qualifications, especially if you graduated as an engineer? That means that you have specific qualifications up under the certificate that certifies as evidence of your claim, correct? Okay, so that's basically the first part of what a certificate, and then it says of live birth, right? Now, when we get into that without being technical, remember, you can go to video 1 on the original Copper Empress channel and go back to video number 1, and you'll see where we talked about this already, about the beginning stages of how the gold clause and gold standard came in, about where they took out the gold and where they put the money in, okay? Because that'll be a conversation to go longer than the 30 minutes. So that's not going to be fair for, other people that are trying to do other things from this point. So, we definitely got to exercise due diligence, right? Due diligence is just doing what you know is right, reading, and so forth. And you just read about 30 minutes a day. Right before you go to bed, you ain't doing nothing else, you know what I'm saying? Or after you get through doing something else, you know what I mean? Ironically, maybe, just depending on how you want to put it in your schedule, right? So, but a certificate and certificate of live birth, okay, on the private side, it's telling you a birth certificate, but it really is, and I've showed the documentation for that already, where a certificate of live birth is not technically a birth certificate, but what it is shows that you're a citizen of the United States. And you should be able to go to my video on Creek Running Wire channel and see where I use a certificate of live birth to come in and out the border without a passport. Okay, they do require to have a passport, but and it may say that you had a passport when you're going across Mexico or whatever country that you went to, Belize, so forth, whatever. Okay, and then coming back, you lost your passport. Are they not going to let you in? They ain't gonna let you stay in the country of Mexico, the Mexico being the country, our neighboring country. Mexico is not gonna let you stay there. It don't work like that. You can't. There's no such thing as being stuck somewhere unless you just don't have a ride to get somewhere. Then I can understand when people say, "Hey, I was stuck in Belize." You were stuck because you were stranded somewhere, not stranded in the country. Okay, because when you go to law enforcement, they've always all been exercised on the formality on what you need to do when you have a foreign citizen there. And they're going to ask you how long your stay is automatically. When you come across the border, the first thing that's going to ask you, what are you going to do? Where is your destination? You tell them where you're going, and you tell them how long you're going to stay. If it's going to be more than 30 days, then you're going to have to require for you're going to have to fill out for what's called a temporary citizenship. A temporary citizenship is a requirement. Now you can fill that out, and if you have all your IDs, and if you know a little bit of the language, depending on where you're at, if it is required for you to have that, all these countries will list little basic stuff that you need to have in order to qualify for citizenship. Okay, temporary citizenship will definitely be through what you consider to be the consulate, or it would be the embassy, right? If you were to get stuck in one of these countries and you didn't have a passport to get across, the border, number one, is not going to stop you from getting off a passport. They have other means of verification. They already know, they already have a plan B, plan C, plan whatever. But of course, they're going to tell you one thing because they don't want you to not have your passport, right? So they already know how people think. They tell you, well, We got a plan B, a plan C. What's going to happen? You'll walk up out of your house before you even get in the car and say, hey, I left, and realize that you left your passport, and won't even take 2 minutes to turn around and go get it. The most typical person would do that. So the United States has protocols to set in cars that really what it does is deter you, okay, from not having your passport. And they always use what we consider to be fear tactics or consequences to do that. But there's nothing that says that you have to have a passport unless you're going through the airport. But driving on land is totally different because the jurisdiction on the land is different from the one on the air. Okay? And I'm not going to get real too technical, but these are some of the things that you can look up. I did try to get into the Secretary of State. I'm not typing faster than I'm talking right now. Okay, so, but yeah, you can go to the Secretary of State. Let's go to the Google. I put U.S. in front of that. United States Secretary of State is where we need to go to facilitate business as an Indian, whether Title 25 or American Indian, okay? Because they're the secretary, and the people that we need to talk to is the government, which is going to be the people in the White House. The White House is set up like a trust. It's ran just like that, okay? And it is a business trust, okay? The president is no more than the president for a corporation. He's the CEO, okay? He's also the fiduciary. The fiduciary is a hat that you wear for somebody that is running a business. Okay, a fiduciary is going to be somebody that's running a corporation. Simple as that. Okay, fiduciary translates to being a trustee if you're talking about a trust. But because it is a business trust, okay, then the board members are considered to be trustees. However, what they do is because people feel like, well, how is it that it's ran like a corporation, but we're up under the corporation? Because you're the beneficiary of the trust, okay? And proof of you being a beneficiary trust is your what? Certificate of live birth. The certificate of live birth is no more than a stock certificate, which would be similar to a stock certificate for a corporation. And because the United States is a corporation, anybody that is a member or a beneficiary, because a beneficiary will still be a member of the trust, okay? These words are synonymous, and I have a chart, and we go back to video number 1. I showed you in the chart where you have on one side, you have a business, and then on one side, you have that business that's being considered to be a country on one side, but they all correlate. These words correlate. A member is a citizen, okay? So you're a member of a corporation. That's it. Your stock certificate has to have an owner. Now, if I look at your certificate of live birth by itself, it just shows your name in all caps. It doesn't show where it has a representative. It didn't show who's the owner. It didn't show who has shares into the corporation. It didn't show who's basically the due holder, of course. That will come from an attachment that you put with that, right? An attachment is just something, a piece of paper that you put with that. Now, a lot of people do what is considered to be the redemption process, or better known as the sovereign citizen packets. People talk about sovereign citizen and redemption movement and so forth, and taking over the control of the straw man stuff. And a lot of what I do, it sounds similar, but it's what I talk about. It comes from a business model. Anything I talk about, it comes from. It can come from a various amount of books, jurisprudence books, which is a law encyclopedia. It's one of my favorites that I keep with me and I like to look into. The Black Law's Dictionary. You need a good, what is that? You also need to have a good, what is that? I just lost my chain of thought real quick. The prefix of a word, what is that? Etymology. You want to get a book on etymology? And I use the one online, okay? Because we don't have to get too technical, to try to, bring it down to every little monochrome to, what this definition is and create an argument. As long as you draw a basic idea and you can be able to capture what the whole idea is behind what they're doing, we don't have to we don't have to technologize everything to make it hard for us. What we want to do is simplify everything, right? So you got a stock certificate. Now people are saying, well, what good is it when these things are being traded on the stock market? Well, what did we talk about being authenticated? When something's certified, okay, you automatically, that copy that's certified automatically stands as the original when the original is not present, okay? When the original is not present and you have a certificate that's been certified versus one that has not been certified, the one that has the one that has a certification on it will supersede the one that's not certified. So when we get it certified in the state where you're from, because they're the ones that issue this certificate of live birth. So you're going to get it sealed in from the Secretary of State where you domicile at. And all states have Secretary of States. All of them do. These are the kind of questions I'm getting, so I just want to hit everybody with some of the stuff that, some of the questions. So I don't know who understands what, and we're getting close to the 10, 15 minute mark, and I'm gonna start going into the questions right before we drop the information on, we finish up this information here on trust, okay? Okay, Secretary of State, United States government, right? What is the Secretary of State? And why do we have to take it there to get it authenticated? Okay, because they're going to certify it to say that it's the evidence of it's a real document. It's authentic. Authentic means real, right? It's authentic, right? So it has been authenticated to say that it is the real document. Okay, so if another person got one, and there's an argument between the two, the one that's certified is going to be the original. Okay, so that's why we want to get it certified. These things are being traded all over the world. We don't know who has these things, right? So when you get yours certified, you got yours certified with what? Picture ID. You're the authorized representative. You just have to step up to the plate. Okay, when you didn't step up to the plate, somebody bought your bond. Somebody put a bond on the bond is on your certificate of live birth. Okay, and then anytime you have a bond, you have shares, and then you got people that buy into a bond. You know what I mean? And then the person that's making money off your bond, whether you set up your name in your business, you set up an account, or so forth. You know, the money they make off is the money they pay the people for the bond.
Is that what that CMI utility is about?
Yes, when you go to the EMI utility site, that right there shows you who is operating with your certificate of live birth. That's correct. And the account number is your Social Security without the Social Security number without the dashes. When you put that into the number, it's going to show you anybody that's using your name. Now, the good thing about that to use that for is not to freak out about it. It's just that when you get to a certain level and you start setting up your business, you got a secretary, you got a declaration already in saying that you're not black and that you're the holder of a stock certificate with that name, and that you're the one that's holding the interest in whatever your name is, because your name is considered to be a title. Okay, you're not that person. That name is a title. Okay, it was created by the United States. They put it on a piece of paper. It's styled the way it is because it's spelt different, because it's not the same entity. It's a legal entity. We just showed you that. You're a natural person, okay, a human being. Okay, the legal entity is somebody that's a fiction. They're artificial, okay? But they give credit to it like it's a person. So when they talk, it's really going over your head, and then you get confused and you just take on the liability of the legal person. But you don't know that there's also benefits, okay, beyond the benefits they tell you, Social Security, you know what I mean, and social services, okay, but there's other benefits that you can, once you come up to the step up to the plate, and once you get your eggs in the basket, you can operate and control some of the benefits and also create a disbursement for yourself where you can get a certain amount of credit, and you can move money and move dollars and money mechanics and stuff like that, because we're dealing with a banking society, right? So that's basically what goes into, all in one. In a nutshell, that's what you're doing. But the UMT site will show you how to go after these people that have been using your name, and what you want to do is create an account with Treasury. Once you have established that self and did that, you want to go to these people and then create, go into the escrow, their escrow account. Every company that creates an account has an escrow account. That's a separate account inside of a regular account. So in other words, you go to the bank, they got an account, they're holding the money. They also put together another account outside of that that's called escrow. Escrow account is just something they're holding to say, hey, look, in case something that happens, we're going to take some of this money out and we're going to put it in this other account over here. It's really your money, but you can't touch it because you don't know anything about it. These escrow accounts just go on unclaimed. You die, guess what? The estate, it goes into the estate. Okay, the estate is held in trust. So any interest that anybody made off your name, you'll be able to get it. But people, well, how can I get the money? You use the UMP utility site to find out who it is. And then you send them a nice letter, okay? And then you set up a letter and let them know the account and the routing number for your account and any interest in the escrow using this name. And you, of course, you're going to do some investigation because you want to be able to box them in. You don't want them to lie and say you do. Because what I did with mine, and I went and found out who did mine, they dissolved the corporation. I went back on the utility site to see what they, to get some more information. And they canceled the corporation. They ended it. They ended it.
I tried to get back on the site today, and it's not letting me go like directly in like it was at first.
It might be down. Sometimes they're down for maintenance, or you might have to use another LP address to get in there. I'm sorry, IP address. IP address to do that because they might have blocked you.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you can do it from your phone and then get on there and it's not a computer. That's the first thing I would do first to see if they blocked your IP. Because they'll do that. Because the thing is,
that's how I've been getting on it was through my phone.
Okay, well then do it on your computer. It'll just be the opposite. You want to use another IP as your address for whatever your whatever computer that you're using. It's going to have an address attached to it. It's going to be the IP address. That's the address for whatever device you're using. So yeah, you got buzz. It's connected. Get that monkey off the back. That's one of the fans in the background. So what I did is I tried to contact them and I let them know. But here's the freaky thing about it: these people are watching you. They are literally watching you. They're watching you. Okay, and they're watching you through the screen of your TV. Now I know it sounds crazy, but let's go to. But let's go, because this is all the technology. This is old technology for fun. I don't know that. Okay, so you got what is that called? What was that they used to Sprint that we found out when we were talking about? They integrated everything with the TVs and stuff. I can't think of it. It's the name of the country. It'll come back to me. But it's the name of the country. It's a private organization. They linked all the phones, TVs, computers. Put it all together so you can look through it through one scope. Okay, but you and I don't have access to that. Okay, but they have access to it. Okay, and as soon as I could think of the name I find it. But they're a private overseas company. Okay, and they only sell to private investors, right? So these people are actually literally watching through to see if you're waking up and how close you're waking up. Okay, it's just like Hollywood. They are watching you. You are the real star. Okay, they're watching you, and you don't know you're watching. You're just acting, and you're not knowing that you're being watched. You're really on TV. You're the actor, and they getting their kicks off of you. And then they go out and write a movie, and he said, "Man, that happened just like how I had it. That's just like my life." I guess so, because they watching your life. Look at Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. These are real events that really happen, right? And they happen over and over again. So then somebody decided to take them and put them on a movie screen. And what happened? We watch these movies and see ourselves in every one of these movies. So we always got somebody in the hood that's just like Smokey, right? Or we got somebody in the hood that's like Big Worm. Or we got somebody, or my cousin might be like, Craig. Or, we got that daddy that's like Pops. You know what I mean? We're the stars. They're emulating us. We're the people that they're watching. They're watching you through the screens, okay? That's what we don't know. You hold more value than what you take yourself for. That's facts. Secretary of State is an official in the state government of Title 47. Of the 47 of the 50 states of the United States, as well as Puerto Rico and U.S. possessions. Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, the official is called the Secretary of the Commonwealth. These are going to be your Commonwealth states, all right? When they talk about Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, okay? And Commonwealth translates to a lot of things, but through my understanding of what it is, these are going to be your sovereign states, okay? Because they at one time these are the original corporations, and we know that anybody that builds with a lot of the Aboriginals, they'll tell you about the Virginia Corporation, or how Pennsylvania was one time. It was a mecca. It was considered to be where you went, like the downtown for some of these places they went, and they have architectures there, okay, in their original form that's still been there, right? Massachusetts is also another one because it's right off the coastal line, okay? And Delaware is too as well. But these are some of the ones that they do are official, okay? So it's going to be different. Secretary of the Commonwealth. In states that have one, the Secretary of State is the what? Chief Clerk of the state, okay? So they're the clerk. Clerk is no more than a secretary. That's why they call it the Secretary of State, okay? So when you want to talk to the president, okay, secretary is going to hold all the records, okay? And if they don't, they're going to tell you, hey, listen, we got so much stuff here. Go to the county and where you at to go get a copy of your birth certificate. Or they'll create an institution or something where you can go, which is going to be a department or an extension of the government there in that state that you reside in, okay? Now, if you're in the state where you at, say you're in Mississippi, Mississippi is going to have their own Secretary of State. When you go to Mississippi Secretary of State, it's going to tell you exactly how to get your authentication. That's going to be the first step of authentication on a state level. Now I know some people got their secretary, they already got the authentication done, the double authentication. Okay, cool. We're gonna go to the next step and go on the Q&A. I ain't gonna go long. Okay, that's the Secretary of State, Michael Watson, okay, for the state of Mississippi. If you have a birth certificate and you already have one, if you don't, this is where you're gonna go to get your birth certificate. Now, what the Secretary of State does is they have what's called a search engine. A search engine will be something that's similar to, as part of the additional security measures, filing accounts which had not filed any documents before proposed. To file documents using the account, you must register. I'm not even trying to register anything. I have to sign in to get on there. This is crazy because I used Mississippi Secretary of State, now they're making me sign in. It's crazy. Hold on a second. So okay, that's something. Okay, so search engine will be, and I'm just using this for an example. Sometimes they already have like what's considered to be a dashboard, a selection of clickable things that you can go to, inquiries that you can go to that allow you to skip to where your search is at, right? So you're looking for a business entity, if you want to file a UCC, you need to get a notary or a apostille, okay? In this case, we are going to get a apostille, right? Apostille, same thing, right? Apostille is going to be your authentication. That's what apostille is. It is an authentication, okay? See, and authentications. It says apostilles and authentications. So we click that. Sometimes they don't just have it right there, but when you see apostille, you're on the right track, right? But eventually it's going to tell you what you can apostille and what you can get authenticated. You're going to look for birth certificate right here. It says A. It says, please be aware, notary is not an employee. Issuing government shall never certify, authenticate, or copy official documents. Documents including but not limited to the following. Okay, these are some of the things you can get authenticated. Okay, now you need to have an apostille form. Okay, so you're not just going to give them the birth certificate and send it in, because they're going to look at that birth certificate and say, why the hell did they give me this, and then send it back to you. You need to have a cover sheet, and that cover sheet is going to be a certificate request form. Okay, you want to get, what do you want to get certified or authenticated? Okay, right here you're going to put the name. Okay, your name, just spell it in all caps because we're using straw man. You remember, this is public, not private. The real person, the natural person, is going to be private. You don't put your name capital M, lowercase a, lowercase whatever. You know what I mean? My first name is Maurice, so I'm not going to spell it regularly right there because I'm the representative. I'm not the one that needs the service. Okay. The service is the straw man. That's going to be in all caps. Okay. I don't have a birth certificate. I have an entity with my name that I use that has a certificate of live birth. Okay? So you're going to use that there. Address, this is address, city, state, because I don't know where to put it to. Country of the document is to be used in. Now this pause right here. They're always going to have that right there. People get stuck right here. I have people that have been trying to get this done for a whole year, still trying to figure out the country because they don't understand it. Okay, the country is going to be wherever you're sending it to. You don't have to send it, okay? But they want to know where you're sending it at. So give them a country. The country you want to give them, you want it to be part of the Hague. I've already explained that. Hague is going to be somebody within their jurisdiction. Anybody outside their jurisdiction would be Cuba, Venezuela, a country like that would be outside of the Hague. You can still get it done, but it won't be an apostille. It will be a certification, right? And they are separate. A certification and an apostille are one and the same, but totally different. Now, real short and simple. When you get an apostille / authentication, okay, it's in their jurisdiction. When you get a certification, it's not in their jurisdiction. But they're both certified. One is certified and one is authenticated. I think they just say one certified and authenticated just to keep it separate so you won't be asking for the same thing using the same word. So if this is authenticated, then they know automatically it's going to be in their jurisdiction. If it's certified, then it's automatically going to be outside of the jurisdiction. But technically, being certified and authenticated, it's pretty much the same thing, right? Okay, it's just one is going one way or the other. So we want to do a country, and that's why I always tell you do two. Because you got people that say, man, it's supposed to be in the head. No, it's not. It's supposed to be out of the head. It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be that. Listen, you want to do both. The administration and the people that work with you, that you want to consider to work for you as a fiduciary capacity, is the United States government. You want to operate your law in their jurisdiction. It's going to be an apostille. The country you're going to put is going to be. And why is that? Because the United Kingdom is their boss. The United States is a colony of Great Britain. Okay. The bankers are from there. Switzerland, you know, that's where the bankers are at. Okay. They have what's registered as an LTD. Okay. And when you go to 55 Water Street, okay, and you talk about the DTC, so forth and so forth, this is part of the administration of what the real banking government is and how they evolve. Okay. So the stock market is the crap table, but it also is an extension of the government. Okay, this is going to be Circle 7, right? The Circle of Sevens. Request type, apostille. You want to get it authenticated? Fine, you can get it authenticated. It's going to be the same thing. Okay, they're going to tell you it's an apostille if it's going to the United Kingdom. It's done. Now this is the one for Mississippi. Now you just got, when you send this in, you're going to send in there, right here it says $5. So you're going to get your money order. Get your money order, and you can do it all at the post office. I tell you what, you get this form, fill it out on the computer, just like I just did. Right? Name, everything. Fill it out. Okay? UK is the country. You take this and you go get your certificate of live birth if you haven't already got it in the mail. Now you got your certificate of live birth and this cover sheet, Form 11 apostille. You're going to take these two things, go to the post office. You're going to take this address right here, give it to the post office, say, hey, I need a shipping label. They say, where's it going to? You give them this address right here. Put that on the envelope. If they don't put it for you, you're going to stick this in there, your birth certificate, and the $5 money order. And you can get the $5 money order up at the post office while you're up there. Now you just got your first level, your certificate of live birth on the first level. But of course, what happens to these certificates when they come to the state? You gotta remember the state is a trustee. Okay, they're an extension, they're a subsidiary to a holding company, and that holding, just like Nunn was saying, shouts out to Nunn, nonetheless. Okay, the United States is a holding company for the subsidiary companies. And what are the subsidiaries? All 47 states. We just looked at that when it said in the Wikipedia. What did it say? 47 of the 50 states of the United States are going to be the subsidiaries. Okay? So the subsidiaries answer to the holding company. The holding company has all the assets. They hold all the assets. They hold all the certificates. They hold all the stocks. They hold all the bonds. They hold all the money. That's going to be the White House. So now you got to take that. You already got it certified on that level from the subsidiary. Now you got to take it to the holding company. The holding company is going to put another seal on it. Okay, because they take all those certificate of live births. They take them and then they go to the White House. So the White House takes all these from all the states. So the state takes them, say, they stamp them, put their note on, say, we got a live birth, a person right here, corporation, boom. You know what I'm saying? Legal person, entity, we're going to put an account, we're going to give them an account, we're going to put them, set them up for benefits, we're going to put them in public benefits, social services, and this is where we're going to count this person as a citizen. Now it goes to a census, and you know what I mean, and you fall up under that as a citizen. The citizen has certain rights and benefits. You fall up under that. Now, if you don't get that certificate of live birth, then you ain't gonna be in any records. Okay? So you decide that's what you want to do, then you can do that.
I went and got mine because remember I told you I had got all had bought 10, but I can't find them. So I went and got mine, my daughter's, and my mom's.
Excellent. Beautiful. Okay, so now did you get it authenticated at the Secretary of State?
I'm going to the Secretary of State Monday because I took off so I can go and do this Monday.
If you need some help, all you gotta do is email me. I'll walk you through.
Okay.
5 minutes, just like I just showed you. Take 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I looked up Tennessee Secretary of State. They are beasts because they like hiding their stuff. For whatever reason, why it took me like 2 hours just to find out where you go to get a birth certificate. Like literally.
See, I'm right here by both of them. It's just like going like I go out of where I live at. I'm less than 5 minutes away from the vital statistics, and then I'm less than 2 minutes away from the Secretary of State.
Got you. Okay. Okay. And anybody got any more questions? Because we got the name of that trust. The only little thing I want to touch on one thing is this. Okay. Everything's being held in trust. They took the money out. They say, oh, what are we going to use for money? Hey, use these papers right here. We're going to have a bank to facilitate these and give you value. Yeah, they're just pieces of paper. Okay, but we're going to back up this paper with value. So they're like, well, how are you going to make this paper value? Yeah, because anywhere you go, they're going to accept it. So not every business that's incorporated becomes a subsidiary under the laws of the United States. All these are incorporation. Walmart is incorporated. Incorporated means, hey, our money came from the United States to start this business. They went to the bank and they said, what are you trying to do? We're trying to start a Walmart. Cool. How much you need? I need about $250,000. Okay, we're going to give you that $250,000. Okay, write out a bond. You write out a bond. Now they take that bond that you got. This is really just an IOU that you asked for some money. Okay. You take that bond and you sell it. Say you got 5 people that buy that bond. They used to have tickets for that bond. You pull them off just like Roman sale tickets when you go in the store, right? When you go in the store, you got one piece of paper, you pull the number off on the tab, right? That's going to be a coupon, okay, for your bond. It basically shows that you have an interest in part of the money that you gave for that corporation, which is a share, or now you become a shareholder. And what you have for that is what? A stock certificate to show you have X amount of stocks in this value. Your certificate of live birth is showing that you're a stockholder and you own so much value into the corporation or into the trust that they created in that name. And that name with that certificate of live birth makes it so that you can unlock the account that goes with that they set up for you. But you have to be the representative or show where you have a representative to do that, right? All this is taking over. You're just making yourself a boss. That's all you're doing. Making yourself a secure party. It's all about banking. That's all it is that we're doing is banking. At the end of the day, when you get to the end of the story and you read through the whole book, you get to the end, you're just a banker. That's just basically what you're doing. Is you're moving money. You're moving paper and you're moving credits. That's it. That's all it's about. It's all it's ever been about. These people came over here with business and never told us the truth about how they was putting their business together. That's it. Virginia was a company. It was a corporation. And of course, they needed to have workers. So they made people obligated to a contract. And of course, we was Indian. We were the phrase Indian giver, right? Because we took something and felt like this ain't what we wanted. I don't want this. Now you want to give it back. That's an Indian giver, right? So we already know the system. This is what the system came out.
We sure gonna be some Indian giver because we want everything back.
Well, we in the OS. The thing is, you're gonna have to give. It is no reparations. Reparations only go to a country with a like you would have to have a what is that? You'd have to have a citizen. You have to be registered and set up like a business or a country. Period. Okay, and your business is a corporation, but you're dealing with a civil society. We talked about that already. The government itself is an intergovernmental society. Okay, it's a IGO, which would be intergovernmental. You got IGO and then you got NGO. Okay, NGOs would be your sovereign states like Cuba. That's a non-governmental organization. They're set up to do like a communism, which we think is wrong, but really it's good. Because what it is just giving all the people the power. They don't believe in that. So what they told you is democracy, but ain't nothing they got registered as a democracy. It still is a republic. But the republic, oh, we don't want the republic for the people. Just keep that on the private side for rich white people and make everybody else citizen slaves, which is up on a feudal system, which is mimicking a democracy, but it's not democracy. There is no democracy here. None. They lied to you. It's lied to you. There is no democracy. Okay? Dealing with a feudal system. That's it. That's making you a slave to labor and work and making money. That's it. And then they give you these worthless paper that we killing each other over. And meanwhile, they ain't doing that on the private side. They just moving credits. That's it. Oh, you want $100,000 thing? Okay, we just put it in an account that you got that. You got a piece of plastic, you can swipe? Yeah, I got that. Okay. Well, we're going to put on that card, wherever you go, and any system that you go, they're going to give you $100,000 credit. That's way better than working and getting money. Go out there and ask some white folks for some money. They're going to tell you, oh, I don't carry cash. All of them carry cash. Go ask a nigga for some money. What are you going to say? I ain't got it. Pocket full of paper. And I've seen people go get their check and cash it out and say, I want all the cash. Now, I know a lot of it is ignorance and people just don't know. So I'm not talking bad about people. I'm just saying we just created habits on doing something and taking us out of the fold of being creditors or taking us to being a boss, okay? Because we want to be able to cash out and just spend, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know what I'm saying? If you got your own business and you spend, it's totally different. Now you know that you created a system where you can buy back your money, and then whatever you're spending, you're getting it back. Right? You can do that with a business. Okay. Okay. The term natural person. I think I just took it off here. We talked about Sister K Vibe, but I promised y'all we ain't gonna keep going that long, so I ain't gonna go that long. We'll do a Q&A. Let's throw this out here real quick. See what I can do in about a minute. Sister K Vibe. Okay. Whereas that device lords of the monarchs and others have granted estates. Okay, they granted estates. Let's look at that. By lease. Lease is what? I'm gonna let you have something. You're gonna be the owner. You ain't gonna be the owner, but you'll be the boss. But I'm your boss. Okay, that's a lease. So for a certain amount of term, you can have this house. Okay, you can tell people to get the hell out of it. It's your property, but you're only gonna have it for that amount of time, and then I take possession of the house again, right? So for one or more lives or lives. Now, I ain't talking about lives. What are you talking about? You granting estates for the lease of somebody that has a life, or else a year is determinable upon one or more life or lives, and half often happen that such person or persons for whom life or lives such estates have been granted have gone beyond the seas and so absent themselves for many years. Absent meaning that you're gone for many years. See, at the time we didn't have cars. The boat was the main travel. You talking about you going to Mississippi? You had a boat, but nobody, unless you're talking about getting on a horse. A horse gonna take you. It's like a Honda Civic with barely 100 miles on there. Okay, it's gonna take you 2 or 3 days to get to California, right? It may even take you a week, depending on where you're coming from. Okay, but if you got that Mississippi and you got the river that comes from there all the way to Idaho or the outskirts, depending on how you travel. Okay, it was good. The main way of traveling back then was going to be through boat, right? If you had cargo, it definitely was going to be boat, right? So we're looking at a part of time where everything was regulated by water. Mostly it's going to be water and land. How you moving? I'm on the land. Okay, that's a horse. If you ain't moving from there, if you're going fast from cargo or place to place or from sea to sea, you're going to use a boat. That's before air was the means of travel. Okay, so a lot of people would be lost at sea. They would go, be gone, and people would say, well, damn, what are we going to do with all their stuff? Their house is here, their property is here. Okay, so what they do is they take it and hold it into and make an estate for that. Okay, so they're granting people estates by lease. Okay, they have a life. So they're basically saying that, hey, all your property is going to be held in an estate. Estate is property by lease. Okay, so now they're talking about estate by lease. That sounds like a mortgage. Okay, seas. Okay, they been on. They don't see. They gone. Okay, it says cannot find. And these people been gone and we can't find them. Out whether such person or person's been alive or dead. They don't know if you're alive or dead. Reasons whereof such lessors, and reservoirs have been held out of possession of the tenants for many years after all the lives upon which such estates depend on are dead, in regard that the lessors and reservoirs, when they have brought actions for the recovery of their tenants, have been put upon it to prove the death of their tenants when it is almost impossible for them to discover the same for remedy, in which mischief so frequently happen to such lessors or revenues. So what are we going to do with all this property? So you got people that's claiming property, just like going to probate. It's just like what Nunn was saying. This is exactly what you were saying, where it's coming from. That was called the Cestui Que Vie Act. The Cestui Que Vie is no more than a trust that they set up for people, okay, to regulate on behalf of that. And if they don't claim their land, then we pronounce them as being what? Dead. Because they never showed up as the person that claimed the estate. So you're dead. They took the same act and applied it to what? Social Security. The Social Security Administration is ran up on the Cestui Que Vie. Same thing. That's why you need to do your statutory claim. You need to do a statutory claim and claim yourself alive and not dead at sea. Y'all, so man, listen, I'm not talking about y'all in the chat, but I'm just saying in general. After you do the declaration, you got to do your statutory claim. It's taking y'all a year or more just to even do the statutory declaration. So far, you got a double authentication, right? So we got a double authentication. Okay, so now we got double authentication. We get it and we control that. But guess what? It says that you're black. On your on your stock certificate, aka the birth certificate, it says what? It says that you are Negro. It'll say N or it'll say C for color, right? So what do you need to do in order to take over that? You need to fix the errors that was on that certificate of live birth. It's like, well, wait a minute. I'm accepting this certificate. Okay, I'm accepting this certificate of live birth, but it's saying that I'm black. Now they just took you out of your status of being white, which is white status. White is not a color, right? Nobody's white. Nobody walking around here like the color of an egg. And ain't nobody walking around here black like charcoal. Okay? That's just facts. Ain't nobody that black. Now, you got some Africans that can pass for that, but when you really get up to it, they really just dark brown. When black, there's really no such thing as black. It's just dark brown. When the granules are so close that you can't see them together, then you have an overcast that just means that it don't exist anymore because it's beyond a number that you can't see or you can't reach. It's infinity. Infinity don't exist. We can't never get to the end of something that don't have an end to it. So black is the absence. Now, if you go the other way, you're going to be so light that you're clear. Now, we know that can't nobody walk around here clear. So it's just white is the placeholder to say it's beyond the amount of what you can see before it's so light you can't see it no more. That's it. It don't exist. Black or white, neither one of them exists. You only got brown people, and then you got people without color. That's it. You got these mulattoes, you got blacks, you got skins, and you got different variations from dark all the way to light. Okay, and then the ones that are light all the way white just don't have any what? Melanin. They got some melanin, but not much. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. And melanin is brown. Go look it up. Okay, it's brown. Look it up. Melanin's not black. We talk about all these people talking about black power and
Ancient Soul said, "Can you explain the steps for the live births?" It's already yeah.
What do you mean? I just did.
He did. You have to go back and watch. He did just
Yeah, he must have just came in. Everything I just
Yeah.
Huh?
That's my just now seeing him in, so he had to just came in.
Yeah,
But yeah, go back and watch it on the video. It's not that long. We probably been going for about an hour now.
yeah, it has been an hour, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little over an hour.
My time is 9:39 my time. So let's go to let's say 9:40. Let's say 9:50, and we're done. Okay.
All right.
I'm just going to show you this. This is the statutory declaration that I did. This was done back in 2014. Okay, basically what you're saying is I creek running water. Okay, do solemnly swear, and I put all the laws up there to hold them accountable. These are contracts. When you look up the 1794 Jane Treaty, it talks about how they released the slaves from around that time. Okay, so these are contracts that y'all had and treaties that y'all set forth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm holding you accountable for that, because if you consider me to be a slave, and at this time during 1774 or during the time of 1836 in the Treaty of Macaris, which is Morocco at the time, now y'all saying more. Now y'all saying, listen, I covered all that. I covered all that. Go ahead.
I ain't saying nothing.
Okay. Because basically, I hear an echo. So basically, what I'm saying is we're going to go through all these. And then when you go down right here, it says the United Nations. We're going to hold them accountable because I'm indigenous. You saying we Moors and the people of Moors is here. They was dark and black. Okay, well, what about if some of our people that are Moors? You know, some of these people, when they hit off the peninsula of, I'm talking about 13 original colonies, perhaps some of these brothers are Moors. We just got to accept that some of these people are they have the colonizer mixed in them. And we're talking about black colonizers, because they have black colonizers. We have Britons, okay, who were the kings and queens at that time, during the time of the late 17 and the late 1800s, all up until World War I when they disappeared. See, this part of the story that just been missing, and everybody's still talking about 17 and 1800, okay, but I'm waiting for y'all to get to 1900. Because when you get to 1900, that's when it gets spooky. Where all these planes come from all of a sudden? Now you got tanks and stuff. Where did all the machinery come in for that time for this place tanks? They weren't even doing all that in the late 1800s. They were just established as a country in 1850. So you mean 50 years later, they now got tanks and planes? Where did they come from? Now, you know, when you go to Africa and you go to the northern part of Africa, you see where it's all sand, like something blew it up. But then go look at Nevada. It's the same thing. Something blew up. Something used that as a test, blew it all up. Something very big and atomic blew up something that was there that they didn't want you to see. That's it. Okay. And what I was told from some of the Rosicrucians, and this might be some information that just leaked out, but you know, Vegas at one time was a very beautiful place before they blew it up. It wasn't a natural desert. It's not. What it was very beautiful, and it was also like it was like a garden for anybody that needed to eat. Just go there and you just pick vegetation. It was just free. Just like a utopia for people that just wanted to eat. There you go. It's like go there and go eat. Or you can get your seeds there. You get seedlings there too. And the people go there for different things. Look at the Grand Canyon. See, we're not being told the truth about things, y'all. Okay? Ask the next one of these people to get on these live, and I'm not dissing nobody, but you got a lot of these brothers on here that found it very intelligent. Ask them, what about 1900? How did everything switch over to tanks and bombs?
Because we already had this technology. This ain't new technology. If you look on the mirrors, you'll see different stuff, helicopters, phones. You'll see all that stuff that was already on our ancestors' mirror part.
That's a fact. Yeah, and I was gonna get to that, but yeah, we already got proof of that. But see, in order to keep their narrative alive, they gotta when you tell one lie, you gotta tell another to cover for the other lie.
Because they want people to think that they invented it. That was how anytime we came up with anything, even after they was releasing our shit,
right.
It was, they'd already took, all the stuff.
They had to learn it too. They had to learn it. They had to learn how to use it. Yep. It took them 50 years just how to take it all the way apart and put it all the way together again.
Yep. Exactly. Just like, what's his name? The one they always talking about. He got the Tesla. I think he studied our people's shit. Ain't no way he He did that. He studied our people shit.
That's true. That's facts. He even paid homage to some of our people. When you read his book, he pays homage to some other people that were inventors and stuff before that. That was the thing about him. He wasn't that bad of a guy. That's the reason why they got rid of him too. You gotta remember they snuffed him out. Made him first they made him quiet and made him so he zapped him so he lost his memory and made him try to make him a vegetable. But over time his memory started coming back. Because they didn't want to tell you about time travel, because that's what he was telling you about. Go to the Philadelphia experiment. This is very true. Okay, it's top secret document. Okay, they were studying time portals and time in between, which is called time continuation. So what you have is black matter in between each little pocket of time, which is nothing, but you can create something in that little pocket to make it consequential. So you can say, well, it went from this and then he got shot. But right in between that is a little pocket of black space that's more than, it's like a million times a second smaller than a second.
Have you ever been driving and you're thinking and next thing you know you at your destination and you don't know, you be like, well, damn.
They playing with time. They playing with time continuation. What they have done is they learn how time works. So what they do is they go back in time and change something, but when they do, they can't come back in this time. So when they go back, they change for themselves in the future. They can't come back to this time. So what happened is they made it so there's another scenario to how your life can end. They alter your destiny so it can be another way other than the way that you choose. So now there's a director's cut. It's just like a director's cut. Oh, this is an ending. It's an ending to the ending that they're going to. So, but here's the thing: you really a God, right? But you're just God with restrictions because you're in this body. So, the thing is, you got to play by this stupid game by the laws of this. You're in this vessel. Right? You're in this vessel, which is really an alien, right? But it's not an alien outside. It's an alien, like you putting a lien on something. A-L-I-N-E. You put a lien on something. You put a lien on something, you're the owner of your vessel and you control it. Why you think they use the UCC? Where do you think it's coming from? See, that's why I tell people they adopt natural law into everything that they're doing, and they use that as a blueprint. We just don't see the similarities. That's it. So you learn the spirituality. All of it is engulfed in one. So they playing by the rules, right? And of course they do bad things, but then what do? They go out and pay homage to your God and ask for forgiveness while you up here drinking the blood and taking the stimulus check or the bread. Okay? But then they turn around and go do what? Cut the lawn, we go grow trees, they give money to civilizations, they do donations. Okay? Yeah, they taking and harvesting kids and having sex with them, but then they turn around and go do good things to make up for their bad.
Sick ass fuckers.
Yeah, they sick, but that's what they doing. They gotta be able to do both. So they playing both sides. They playing God and the devil.
We figured that one. I don't even think they got God. They ain't playing God. They want to be gods, but they're straight the devils.
But they can't ascend past they can't ascend to a certain level. They only have so many chakras. They can't ascend. They don't have melody. They don't know how to act without acting. Period. They don't know how to. They have to act. And so this is how I act when you sad. So you watch TV, get an idea of how it's supposed to be. So when somebody dies, you know how to act like you're sad and pour some tears. Okay, and you get an Oscar for that, for being the best actor, right? Because you can convince people. They don't have any emotions. They have to learn how to be real. Go watch iRobot. That's them. They're telling you who they are in these movies.
Yeah, they definitely tell you who they are.
Yep. Watch iRobot. Then they got good old Will Smith back there. He took the Illuminati oath. You know, he Illuminati gay. You know, messed around and and then he did it on the movie in front of everybody. So this is what we're gonna do. But here's what we want to do. Under 18 USC Section 9. And I'm gonna end it with that, y'all. Title 18 USC Section 9. I'm gonna go out the same way I came in. We talked about Title 18 USC Section 9, for those that don't believe what's going on, what does the United States say that a vessel is? Uh-oh. Somebody don't like me today. Because I'm about to tell somebody the truth. They all this crap, this sovereign citizen crap. That's not a vessel. They're talking about ships. Man, you got on there and said a declaration. They're talking about maritime ships. Okay. And it said a vessel. It says when you transfer interest into the vessel, right? The source of where the indigenous standing comes from and their status correction comes from Title 46. Title 46, USC. Oops, I did wrong. Oh, now they went in the go slow. See how they did that? That stuff. Hold up. And I butchered up the whole thing, spelled it wrong. Title 46, Section 3. Whoops, I messed up. Big time. Keyboard stuff. What did it say? It says when you transfer interest into a vessel. Everybody keeps saying, I had somebody thumb down on the video. I know who it was, because then he asked me the question. He said, man, that ain't true. And then when I went back to look on the video, it was a thumb down right after that. So I ain't gonna say no names, so I ain't gonna get nothing started. But here's the thing, I'm just putting this out there because I know you like looking and thumbing down on my damn videos. Because you're an idiot. You really don't know what you know, but it's because you can't go through the diligence to find out if I'm wrong or right. You're just going to say I'm wrong without even fact checking it. Okay? But the facts is this right here, my brother. Okay, when you go to Title 46, 306, 301, 306, this is the source for Declaration of Citizenship. It tells you how to do your statutory declaration. It does say declaration, and it says you need to do a declaration. And it says correction of citizenship. Now, what does all this mean? You already got your double authentication, but it has Negro on there. You don't want it to self-represent you as something that you're not, so you have to correct that, and you're allowed to correct the amendment on your certificate with an amendment. So what you're going to do is when you file these, okay, at the county recorder's office, you're going to take your double authentication, okay, which makes you the due holder, of course, right? You're a shareholder in stock. You own stocks in this investment as an interest holder, okay? And you got your statutory declaration that says, I'm not black. You put them both together. That's it. Now, anybody, even a court, I don't care where you go, when they look at your certificate of live birth, they're going to see where you got a claim on that to say that they're wrong and you're Indian. That's how you take the Negro off your birth certificate. That's the first thing you want to do is make it so you have standing at law. Nothing comes before that. Nothing. Everybody keeps saying, how you discharge that? Do your declaration first. Because we're not white folks are, they have their own process. When you look at the redemption movement, that's for patriots. We're not patriots. They just refuse. I just put that in. Put it up there. It's not even coming up. I put it all the time. So we done, y'all. Anybody got any questions before we end? Any questions before we get out? Anything in the chat?
Anybody want to ask a question? We're gonna do a continuation on Monday, Creek.
Yeah, we're doing another continuation.
Okay.
Transferring an interest into a vessel. What is a vessel? Somebody told me, man, this is maritime. You talking about vessels, talking about a ship. What does it say over here? Hold on a second.
I don't. Amarike said, "What if you don't have a no race on your thing?" They stopped it like in 1970. That's when they start. They
They don't
stopped.
have it. They have it on the certificate of live birth, not the copy that they give it to you. But when you go to the county recorder's office and you ask them for a copy, they won't give you a copy. But what they have in the system is you listed as being black. They will have it on paper or documentation. Because when my mother went to go get mine, she went and got a copy, and they also gave her another piece of paper that was like a status report. It's just another. He said they gave her both that and the certificate at the same time. It showed that I was black, but it didn't show black on the certificate.
No, because I don't have anything on mine.
Yeah, but it's listed in the computer as being black.
Yeah, they just not printing it out because they got it in there, they just have it in their system that you're down in there because it's how they're benefited because you dead and you're alive.
I've proved that before. I can show you where they do that. I can show you how, I took some time next time to go when I go downtown to the county recorder's office. I'll ask for that paper. It's like a summary report. And it'll say birth certificate owned by so and so and such. It'll have all your information on it, born in 1980, blah, 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 black, race, black. It'll have all that on it. All that, it's in the system. Or sometimes it'll just have a code on there. It'll say N or it'll have C on there. You really got to look for it because some people don't even see it on their birth certificate. But it's on there. If it's not on there, they have it listed in the computer.
Ancient Soul said, "What if you don't have a birth certificate?" He said his mom is 85.
You don't have a birth certificate? Stop. Huh?
Oh, that's what he's saying. He said, "What if you don't have a birth certificate?" Because his mom is 85, so she probably was born at home. She was born by a wife.
Right? She has a social security number.
Does she have a social security number?
Yeah, because a lot of what they did is they put them with the social security, and they have a social security number, so they still would make them a beneficiary, but they don't have the certificate of live birth, but they're still listed through the. They still would make them so that they can participate, but it will show where they have. Because see, the thing is, they'll draw you a death certificate, right? And it's not based on your certificate of live birth. Okay. The certificate of live birth just makes it so it shows evidence of a contract. Okay, if you don't have that birth at a specific time, what they'll do is they'll go on the computer system and still pull all the information that's vital to what you need for the account, for you to do the process. Depends on what she needs it for. If you don't have one, it don't make you not a citizen. It just means that when you try to go conduct business, if you need one, then they'll print you out something in place of that. But they still have you listed as a citizen, when you vote or whatever, it's still in their system.
Yep.
It's just like let's say you take your certificate of live birth and rip it up. There's no evidence that you have one. Would that still make you in the system? Would you still be in the system? Yeah, you still be there. But if you got a piece of paper that say you don't or not, you're still in there. Because when you go to probate, they're going to have all your property. They're going to have your estate there. They're going to wait for somebody to claim it. See, my great-grandmother didn't have none either. She didn't have a birth certificate. She was born in 1902. But she got a death certificate. And they make the death certificate based on the information got in the computer, not the certificate of live birth. What does it say the vessel is, y'all? We ready to get off here now. Vessel of the United States. As used, and this is for that nigga that was still talking that crap. You know what I'm talking about. I know you watch this. Vessel of the United States, as used in this title, means what? A vessel belonging in the whole, or in the part of the United States, or any citizen thereof the United States. A citizen of the United States is a vessel. I'm done.
Yep.
Any corporation. That's a straw man. Created by the laws of the United States. The laws of the United States is what created the straw man. Did it or did it not? I conclude. Vessel is the straw man. It's a citizen. That's it. So when you go back here, it says transfer interest into a vessel. right there. Straw man. That's your certificate of live birth. They're not gonna spell this out for you. You got to know how to do it. And it's telling you declaration of citizenship. Then it says right here, it says a declaration under this section filed by the corporation. Corporation is what? Now they just told you the vessel is a corporation. Must be signed by its president, judiciary, trustee, secretary, treasurer. These are commas. So it's giving you examples of a representative. It says right here, or official authorized representative. I'm authorized as a representative for the what? Corporation. A straw man, that's a vessel. By the corporation to what? Execute the declaration. You're going to take this declaration now and do this. Then you're going to get your double authentication and put them together. Now you're not black. Now you have standing. Now you get pulled over. You ain't up on that shit. Of course, you're going to have to rescind those contracts. Now, if I get enough people that want to see me some of the contracts and we want to do that, like next week we can get into, I can show you how you can rescind the driver's license, or you rescind child support, or you can rescind those, because I don't do none of that. I got out of my child support a long time ago, y'all. I did that with a note. I did it with a note. It's done. It's gone. No more CPS. No more child support. CPS, I put a lien on CPS for $15 million. They better never show up at my door unless they come to give me a check. That's how you take care of business, y'all. These people are corporation agents.
I'm gonna contact you. So, like I said, I'm going Monday, Creek.
That's fine. Do that. Do that. You can hit my jack. You got my line.
Okay.
And y'all got the email. Hit me up. You know. So that's it. The declaration is that simple. Take that, write it, or you can, if you want the copy that I got that I sell, I take the donations, and I'm working on towards trying to put together a site for those that want to donate. You know, I take those donations and I don't go spend it on a new car or clothes or go to a club or any of that. What I do is I take I'll be like, no, I'm just keeping it 100. I don't.
I'm gonna send you a donation because I need one. You said I need to take that to Secretary of State.
Yeah. Well, what I do with the donations, I'm about to make a like what we talked about when we was offline and online, that we wanted to put like a Patriot site. You know, for patriots who want to get on, you know what I mean, and just take it off that so we can create a website. And then what I'm gonna do when we do that is we're gonna create members, okay? And everybody has a member. They become a member of the site. Okay, then you have exclusive rights to certain things. You know what I mean? We'll be able to work you closely with the declaration and put you through the whole process, because I'm trying to create a process to go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, because everybody's asking for that. Okay, so I've already kind of got that together.
You're gonna break it down where it's the first step, go do this first, and then after then you can come back and read this, go over this. This be step 2.
Right, and it's all gonna be on the search engine on the website. So when you go to the website and say, if we like taking classes, you step 1, and then you take these, you know, classes that have videos there. You can look at tutorials. Boom, you finish the first step, then you look at the step.
They want your email, Creek. Put your email in the chat. Put it in the back chat, and I'll copy and paste it and put it in the chat for you.
Let's do that. Okay, this is.
We'll be back Monday, same time, 7:30. Excuse me, y'all, because I ain't tired.
Yeah, I'm a late bird. I ain't going to bed till about 3 o'clock every night.
I'm just tired because, you know, let people usurp my energy. It's starting to be real draining.
No,
Did you put it back on?
Yeah, I got it. I sent it in the back chat. Okay, yeah. So I do do good with the donations for those, because I've had people. Shouts out to Gretchen Helm. You sent a donation for that sister. I humbly appreciate you. I still had a donation. Like I said, you know, we're going to put some stuff together so we can have this a site together, make Patrons get on there, so we can make this useful and make a search engine for people that want to, you know, have their indigenous standing. And not only that, they want to be able to utilize papers, notes, promissory notes, discharge debts, and then we can get into the whole thing of, you know, how we can learn together. Because I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting stuff together right now.
Miss Lita said her form says countries. Do I only put United Kingdom?
He said the country to send it to is going to be United Kingdom. That's correct. If she has two, there should be one for United Kingdom and the other one will be Cuba.
Okay.
If you got one, do United Kingdom, because that'll make it so that you basically it'll give you an apostille, basically to say, hey, this is going to be the law in your jurisdiction. Okay, which will be part of the head. Okay. So, and then the family tree is going to go with your decoration too, y'all. You're going to fill this out. You can get this too. I give these out. You know, I do like a little donation, but if you don't have the donation file, I just send it to you for free. Okay.
Okay.
I send these out for free. You know, for whatever reason why people like free, they don't. They don't. Nobody, everybody like free. I mean, I don't know who don't like free. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to get the decoration. The decoration that I have, the paid one. This one right here is for free. Okay, just type it out. But the one that I have, the 2-page one, it's not going to have a notary on it, because she's not supposed to have a decoration with a notary on it. It's supposed to have okay. Decoration is always going to be a notary.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry. Decoration is always going to be 2 witnesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to go get it. You have to go get it notarized yourself.
You don't have to get it notarized. Not your decoration.
Okay.
On the one, the paid version is $40. It's 2 lines with 2 signatures for 2 witnesses that you're going to have sign that, and then you get a seal that goes on that to authenticate. Now I put my seal on those for the ones that do it. When I check over it, I put the, you know, my name is still on there. You know what I mean? Which kind of just gives you a little authentication that's been viewed, since I'm already an authorized user. I'm already authorized as a representative. You know what I mean? And I'm already you know, due holder of course, and I have standing up law. So I've already been recognized as, you know, somebody that's an Indian. Okay, I've already been recognized.
Okay.
So I pretty much just co-sign. This is another way of co-signing. I'll authenticate something, and when they see enough of my authentications on there, they know where it's coming from.
Gretchen said the family tree should go back to what year or until we know what tribe.
That's true, but you only need one relative. That's all you need. One relative to say that you was Indian. You can go back 1 generation. That's all you need.
Okay.
All you need is one auntie by law to say that you was Indian, and then all the proofs to go behind that. That's all you need. You only need to go all the way back to 1780. Sometimes it may be virtually impossible for some of these people to even go back that far. Mm-hmm. Some of the records are going to get destroyed. So you're not going to find them. But they're going to have to prove that you're African. If you got one proof, they have to disprove that, and they can't. They cannot prove that you're from Africa unless they got some information to say so. And if they do, guess what? You got dual citizenship. So either way, even if you are a citizen of Africa and you're not, guess what? You need to go claim your state in Africa. You could be sovereign over here and play like these Africans do. So either way it go, you still got some type of sovereignty. The only thing is you don't want to be black. If you're an Indian, if you're African, choose wisely. If you're African, say you're African. Because, you know, we got a lot of these people from New York, New Jersey, you know, and that needs to be addressed. And it has been addressed. A lot of those people are claiming to be Moors, or they're claiming to be, and they are. You go into their record, they got their cousin came from England or Irish or something. They Moors. They came, they got ancestry in Britain. I'm Chickasaw, so I ain't got none of that. I mean, on both my side, Choctaw and Chickasaw. You know, my family came from south of Peninsula, Yucatan, from all the way up. From there all the way up. They migrated from the southern part of America up.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being, you know, have African. So because when all you gotta see, this is another thing that you brought up. All these countries were together at once.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these small people from Africa, they were just like us because they came from over here.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting the lands were all together at one time.
Yep, that's a fact.
Okay, so I'm done. Yeah, I got something else y'all want to go on, something like that. Or you always can email and request what y'all want to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this is. It's just a Q&A, and most of what I've been getting, I said I'm just going to hit all the answers and put them on the live today. So hopefully I answered pretty much all the inquiries. And,
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing y'all again next Monday. I do one Friday. I think I'm going to do Friday past Friday too. Y'all. That'll be on the running channel. And then what I do is, if it won't be on YouTube, it'll be on Zoom conference because it is private. But then when I start doing it, I edit it and I'll put it up so you can see it in case you missed it. But if you want to get on that, just hit the email up and y'all can get on Friday's private class. So that's when we go in and show, our promissory notes, going to treasury, bonds, that type of stuff. We touch about it. I'm not going to do too much, I'm not going to go that far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put out a bomb out there to show you. I'm not going to do that. We can do it in private, but I'm not doing it on YouTube. Because I don't regulate who sees what on YouTube.
Mm. Well, Creek, we're going to go on the end because I'm barely holding the eyes open.
Sorry. Yeah, it says, I hit you up, Creek, a little while back. Hit me on the email again, KSR. For whatever reason, why I had a lot of spams, man. And some of these emails, I had to go back to my spam to answer some of them. And perhaps I think one of yours is or was in there. So I hit like a list of maybe 10 people, man, that I, from like a month back. So, but just hit that, the m.t.i.consulting.trust@gmail.com. I think Empress said she put it in the chat. Y'all just hit me up.
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Okay. All right, y'all, good night. Yeah, I'm about to eat a little something.
Everyone, thanks for everyone coming out, and we'll be back Monday. Tune in Monday. He said he's gonna also start some calls on Friday, so be looking out for that as well. And like he said, you can donate to his Cash App or well, he'll give all y'all the information once y'all contacted him about any of the paperwork. He said just a donation. He's not asking for much. But thank all y'all for coming out, and we'll see y'all Monday night, same time, same channel. Peace. Bye, everyone. Peace and love.